As a lot of you guys probably know, I own a Pixelmon server, Pokecentral.org. I upload a ton of videos just playing here on the server. However, I'm also the server owner, and I like to implement a lot of cool things onto the server for you guys, and I figured I'd do a little bit of a behind-the-scenes video for me adding the Elite Four. Let me know down in the comments or with just leaving a like if you guys do enjoy this video and want me to upload more videos like this in the future, but let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. So the first step for me is really finding a good location on the map for me to add the Elite Four. Now, we have spawns sitting over in that direction, and there's some pathways that lead up here and here, and this is the old Poke Lab, and I figure, you know what, this looks like a good place. So I went ahead, added a little bit of a path back here, and here's a staircase, and this area here is where we are going to go ahead and put the Elite Four structure. Now, I personally am not the best builder in the world, so I'm going to give it my best shot. We might have to go to replace this building at some point in the future. Maybe if a better builder builds something that we can replace it with. So generally when I'm building Pokemon themed builds, I really like to stick with the quartz sort of white color palette. So we're going to go ahead and pick out some blocks here that we can use to build this building. So definitely probably going to use quartz. I also really like to use some iron blocks in the build occasionally. I think they work pretty well together. Now, it's going to be an Elite Four building. Usually I like to stick with the white quartz kind of color palette, maybe even implement a little bit of stone and stone brick into it. I feel like that can work pretty well. Make sure it's not the monster egg variant, but the regular stone brick. And then from there on, I like to choose basically just one color that I use for either the roof or detailing or something like that, and I feel like that usually works out pretty well. So for the Elite Four building, I'm not entirely sure what color I'm going to go with. I think I'm just going to do probably blue, and that gives us a lot of options. We can use lapis, we can use blue wool, we can use the different blue glass panes, we can even kind of pull in some of the light clays, although they generally look a little bit more purple than blue, at least to me. But we have a lot of options there. I think the lapis will be good, and of course you're going to need to do the stairs and all of that different stuff as well. Now, I am, like I said, wow, that boss just spawned right next to me. Okay, that's kind of cool. But I'm not the best builder in the world, so I'm probably going to do most of this off camera and just show it to you guys after I finish. But I guess you'll be able to see the finished progress, and maybe I'll show you guys some updates along the way. Let's go ahead and start filling out this area with some sort of a structure. Now, the Elite Four is actually going to take up a lot of space because you need one room for each of the Elite Four members, as well as most likely a champion room. So that's 5 different rooms, and you need them to kind of be in a straight line so that you can go from one room, defeat that leader, go to the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. So what I'm actually going to do is build a main structure on the surface and then a staircase that leads down underground, and that's where the hallway of the leaders is going to be. So that way the building doesn't have to be massive. I can build a fairly small structure as long as it has enough room for like probably a little mini Poke Center, maybe even a little mini Poke Mart, a staircase that leads down into the Elite Four members, and then we'll just do the rest underground in tunnels, and that makes it a lot easier on me because I can do interior builds a lot better than exterior. Now, when I build, I generally like to start with the door frame. I don't know, it just gives me sort of a place to start off of and kind of go out from there. Okay, so what we're doing here is just kind of trying to keep some depth in it. You see, there's already a little bit of depth in the build, and generally when you're building, that is one of the most important things to keep in mind is depth. So we're going to try to get a little bit of depth in this build. Like I said, not the best builder in the world, definitely not when I'm trying to record and build at the same time, but now we just need a sort of overhang on this part of the build. So I'm not entirely sure how I want to do that. I think we'll just go with something like this. Let's see if this works. Here, we'll go that, and then we'll put some stairs here, and we'll try to figure something out here. Now, this isn't really a building tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and cut here and finish up a little bit more of the build off camera, and I'll jump back with you guys once we've got more of the base structure in place. All right, guys, so this is the current build. I really haven't done all that much to it. I put this wall in here, and I think it's coming out fairly good so far. I decided that I wanted some sort of a Pokemon logo type thing here, so we have to have some sort of block that has a staircase. And if we type in stair here, we can see these are pretty much all of our options. I figured I'd go ahead and put in a sort of master ball here. It doesn't really stand out against the white background, but I think it'll be fine. I got myself, hopefully we can go ahead and use this command here to give ourselves a concrete block head. It's a head block, so that'll fit in right there. I might change that up later on. I don't know if that's the best color for the button, but Yeah, it doesn't really look all that great. I'll probably fix that a little bit later on, but you can see there, you can use heads if you're in a survival world or on your own server. You can use heads to make a pretty small, cool little Pokeball. And yeah, that's pretty much it so far. So let me go ahead and continue on. Basically, what I'm planning on doing is just building half of the build and then using World Edit to go ahead and copy and paste it over to the other side, and we'll just have a symmetrical build. And that way, I can build a little bit of a larger structure, and it'll take me half the amount of time, so I don't have to go and build it again on this side. All right, guys, so another progress update. Here is the current build. We've pretty much got the entire front wall done, and we've started curving around to the back now. This part is also going to be hard. We're not going to make it quite as deep as it is wide, so it's going to probably come to maybe about here or so, and then we'll just finish up the loop. But as you can see, we've done quite a bit here. So originally I actually had this flat here, but I like the curved window a little bit better. I feel like it adds a little bit of variety to the build. I used some trapdoors here. I've seen some other people do this. I took a lot of inspiration from a lot of different places for this build, and I definitely just recently saw somebody use this as a sort of gap between the windows to put a pillar there, I guess you would call it, sort of a thin pillar, and I think that works really well, so I really like that. And then I kind of wanted to implement trapdoors into other parts of the build because I felt like it looked a little bit out of place, so I put them in here at these windows and then even some more up here, and I feel like this build came together pretty well so far. So jumping forward a little bit, I finished up a lot more of the build. I've actually already moved on and done some of the interior as well. You can see I decided to go ahead and fill in the windows with some glass panes there, and I think that looks pretty good. I also did the interior, like I said. We added in the birchwood floor. I added in a carpet in the middle. I might change up the center area of this a little bit more just to add a little more detail, but I think it looks good enough for now. And then you can see on the left side here, it kind of resembles a Pokeball, but this is the basically the mini little Pokecenter. And then on this side, it kind of resembles a Great Ball, and it is the Pokemart, which these two Pokemarts are vitamins and stuff like that, and then this one should have like the super potions and all of the different heals and all that different stuff. So this is pretty cool. I'm actually really enjoying how this build has come so far. Now I do need to add a roof on the build still, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna do that, so I'll probably hold off on doing that for the video. I might actually even have somebody else add the roof for me. I have a really hard time building roofs for some reason. I mean, I can do the walls, I can do the interior pretty well, but the rest of it is pretty challenging. Now the back actually has a little bit of a half cylinder. I actually need to cover this up here. That's just the staircase leading down. I just need to fix the terrain a little bit, but it has a little bit of a half cylinder there, and that is actually because we have a staircase going down right here, and this is going to lead down to where the Elite Four members are actually placed. So the next step is actually to go ahead and add the NPCs themselves. So we're actually going to go with Rock Fighting for the first member, Electric/Steel for the second member, Bug/Ghost for the next, Fairy/Dark, and then the champion here. And these are the badges that I've decided to give for each of them. They don't necessarily fit with the exact typing, like this is just an electric badge, not an electric steel badge, but that's just because dual type badges don't exist to my knowledge, so we're just gonna go with this. They work for now. We can go ahead and replace them at any point in the future. I just needed badges that I hadn't used before, and yeah, so I guess at this point we need to go ahead and add the NPCs. So the first thing we actually have to do is add in a gym. These NPCs are basically going to be considered gems. However, they are Elite Four members. We just have to implement them that way in order to make them work here on the server. So we have to add a gym first. I believe it's add gym Rock/Fighting. Add gym Rock/Fighting badge. Okay, so we're going to be using the Boulder badge for the first Elite Four member here. So Boulder badge, I believe that's how you do it. And successfully created the Rock Gym. So a Rock/Fighting gym, which is really the Rock/Fighting Elite Four member, it's just going to be considered a gem for the sake of keeping things simple and not having to create an entirely new plugin. Now there's a couple things we actually have to do. The first thing is go ahead and I believe it's edit gem, and then we do Rock/Fighting, and then we go ahead and type in the required gem, which is going to be the 8th gem, which is Dragon. So if we go ahead and do require dragon. There we go. Okay, so perfect. So now that we got that all set up, the next step is to go ahead and spawn in the leader. So if we go ahead and do spawn leader rock/fighting, there we go. Of course, that's not the skin we want. We can probably just set it to Steve for now, and that way we can change it later on. We also want to go ahead and set it to unlimited uses so that way it doesn't despawn when you go ahead and battle it. And that's pretty much it for that. Now, we have to go ahead and make sure that it teleports you from this NPC to the next room once you defeat it. And in order to do that, we need the coordinates from this room. So if we go ahead and stand right here, I think this would be a good location to teleport the player to. So we look there, we see it is 117.5. That's going to be the center of this block, 55 for the height, 326.5 for the Z coordinate, and then we're actually facing at negative 90 degrees and 0 degrees on that axis, and that should be pretty much it. So in order to go ahead and add this command to the NPC, we have to go ahead and do TC, which stands for Trainer Commands. It's a custom plugin that we use here on the server, and then we have to add the command, and then we have to do it on a when. And then we also have to do Minecraft TP at PL, which is how you go ahead and select the player, and then the coordinates, of course. So that's going to be the entire command right there that we use. So let's go ahead and do that, and then click the target entity. So that means once you defeat this NPC, it'll give you the badge that you need to go ahead and take on the next Elite Four member, and it will teleport you into this room. And then from there, basically, we'll do the same thing here. And then once you defeat this NPC, it'll teleport you onto this room. And once you defeat this NPC, it'll teleport you onto this room. And once you go ahead and finally defeat this NPC right here, it will teleport you, I guess, back up to the main building, and it will basically say that you've defeated the champion in chat, and you'll get your badge for it. So that is pretty cool. Now, we also don't really want players teleporting other players down into the Elite Four rooms, and we also don't want players teleporting out without actually losing a fight. So in order to go ahead and block that out, we need to make a claim that we can add flags to prevent people from using commands. So in order to do that, we basically just have to subdivide the claim. So if we type that command in there while holding a feather, and then we go ahead and right click here, and actually it goes underground fairly far. So we're going to head on over to this side of the building, and you have to click both corners. So I believe if we go to about right here, we should be good. Let me go ahead and click right here. And then in order to check, we can just go into game mode 3, which is spectator mode. And yeah, you can see that's the back room. So we have plenty of space to work with underground there. So the command itself is CF command execute. And I believe it's false, or is it any and then false? And there we go. So players should no longer be able to use any commands at all in this claim. And that's good for us because that means people won't be able to teleport other people in, people won't be able to teleport out or do anything like that. So basically, if you're in this area, you're not going to be able to do things like /spawn, /TPA, /TP. You're not even really going to be able to check your balance or do anything like that, or even really use /PC, which is really helpful for us because that means that we can block out people from changing their Pokemon between fights, because I really want this to be something where you have to use the same team for all of the Elite Four members and the champion, just to make it a little more of a challenge. So the next step would be to, of course, implement the rest of the Elite Four members and the champion, and of course we have to go ahead and change up the team. We can't really use a Rattata. However, I want to go ahead and test this really quick. So let me go ahead and just jump into battle here. Now it's going to basically let me battle it. It's going to be a level 1 Rattata. Of course, we have to change up the team. And once I go ahead and use pretty much any of my moves, Psycho Cut will work because it's a level 1 Rattata. It's going to say in chat that I've defeated the rock/fighting gym. Now, it's probably going to cause a lot of people to spam messages in chat, but that doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and just do it. And we can see there that it worked. And not only did it work, it also teleported us to the back of the NPC, basically to the next room, which is really good. That means that we can go ahead and basically just work our way through here, add the rest of the NPCs, use the same system that we already used, and then finish up adding their teams. I'm actually going to have a staff member. I don't know if I already mentioned this once in the video, but I'm going to have a staff member, Trinios, actually do all of the teams for the entire Elite Four member. I know Pokemon pretty well, but he's a lot better at it than me, so they should be pretty challenging if he gets them set up. All right, so that's actually going to be it for this video. Now, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to go ahead and leave a like on the video. If it gets enough likes, I'll probably do more videos like this in the future, but if it's not really something you're interested in seeing, this can just be a one-off video. I just wanted to try something new here on the channel, and I know this isn't really stepping too far away from what I normally do. I'm still uploading Pixelmon videos, so maybe I'll try something even further outside the box later on. I know not everybody can like every type of video, and I know a lot of you guys are used to the more just Pixelmon Let's Play style videos, so I understand if you guys don't want to see more videos like this. However, I did have fun putting it together, so hopefully you guys did enjoy, and of course, if you like my terrible building skills, make sure to let me know. The building did come out fairly good. It's probably one of the best buildings I've ever built. I'm not gonna lie, it did come out pretty good. Now, of course, we still don't have a roof. I'm not even gonna attempt that right now. I would probably just destroy the entire building, so we're gonna leave it without a roof for now. It actually doesn't even look that bad. I mean, if you look at it while you're walking up the pathway, it does look pretty good. I think it came out really well. So that's going to be it for this video. Of course, like I said, if you did enjoy, make sure you go and leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, and of course, watching my series that I upload every single day here on the server. I'm planning on stepping out of my sort of comfort zone with videos and playing other games, trying different things, and yeah, just changing it up a little bit. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.